Hello guys, welcome to episode number 52 of my European Journeyman save in Football Manager 2023. You may have noticed at the start I've made a little intro for this series. It's something I'm not very good at. But I spent about an hour on it last night. Obviously there is a lot of improvement that needs doing to it. Let me know what you think of it. Obviously I think this series did need an intro. And it's just took me a little while to get round to it because I'm not confident in making stuff like that. It's not something I've ever been good at, is doing stuff with computers. But hopefully it does the job and I can improve upon it as things go on. But you do join us back here in Finland as the manager of SJK. We are at the last game of the season, the 27-game season. There is a European playoff to come, which we have qualified for, but that's not part of the regular league season. So I'm hoping to just do that off camera and come back at the start of next season. You may notice from down here at the league positions here that we have sort of picked up a couple of places since you were last with us. I think we were around about 6th or 7th last time you were here. We did have a decent run of form, but you may also notice the last two games have both been losses to HJK and Coops. HJK, by the way, have finished a long way off the pace. Coops and FC Honka go into the final day of the season with the title on the line. Honka have got the slightly better goal difference. So if Coops lose and Honka win, then it's going to be Honka who bring the title back. Defending champions are down in the relegation group, but Coops could be another winner in the competition. So it'll be 4 winners in the space of 4 seasons. Coincidentally, in terms of the matches, Coops and Honka play each other. So title decider there in Finland. But we today are coming against Mariehamn, the team in 3rd. Obviously we can't catch them now. We can't finish anywhere other than 4th, but our goal difference is very concerning. Now, a few games since you were last here with us, it was that hammering by Honka. It was a 4-1 defeat. We then took on a bottom team, AC Ula, a nice, comfortable 3-1 win here. Bounced back from that humiliation against Honka. Coimbra with a double. Leo Johansson scored a penalty. Max Werter with the reply for Ula. A game which we were rather fortunate in. We only had the 3 shots on target. That XG is inflated by the fact we had a penalty. But we did have more of the ball. I went back to the 4-2-4 formation for this one, and it did pay dividends. Mariehamn, today's opponents, were next. I went with the Register system in this one and it paid off. We came up with a 2-1 win after going behind to a Gustav Lindgren goal in the 70th minute. Christopher Kavaman, I don't think you've met Christopher yet, is on loan from Norway, I believe. But he got his first goal for the club in this game. Leo Johansson added the winner in the 88th minute. This is Christopher Kavaman. He's on loan from Rosenborg. He is a inverted winger / advanced forward. He's got some really good attributes for that position. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists in the 6 games that he's played for us so far. So he's done okay. I was just desperate to get some numbers in through the door, some better players. HIFK were next, a 2-1 win here in this game. Again, we went with the Register formation, the 4-1-3-2. Or the 4-4-2, whichever you want to call it. But Kavaman scored another one. Leo Johansson again. Kaganda with the goal for HIFK. And we picked up some really good form coming into this. We then were away to FC Hacker. It was a 1-0 win. We outperformed them. We really did outperform them. Leo Johansson got the goal in this one. They had their chances, don't get me wrong. They had some good ratings, but their good ratings were in the defence. Our good ratings were in the defence as well. It was a very close game. But we then lost after having 4 wins in a row, which were great. We've been beaten by a single goal to nil. Mikko Mattia with the goal for SC Honka in this one. A game which we didn't even register a single shot on target. So we've got problems at both ends of the pitch. But we did respond with a 2-1 win over Hacker. Now, we were very fortunate to win this one, I believe. Hacker were the better team. We had a player sent off in the 30th minute. We did take the lead before the player was sent off, Odo with the goal. Jokalainen did reply in the 50th minute to level the game, and we were heading for a draw. We held on really, really well, but Miro Koivunen popped up in the 87th minute to bag the winner. Now, one of these, I did actually pick up an achievement in one of these games. I don't know which one it was, but it's the achievement for winning with an XG less than your opponents. I can't remember which one it was, but we were battered in the game, and we came away with a win. But we followed up that very good win away to Hacker with a 1-0 defeat at home to HJK. Of course, the really, really good team in this division. They've just had an off season. Tomas Galvez scored the only goal of the game. It was from the penalty spot. We didn't turn up. We didn't perform. And then we've most recently been beaten by Coops 2-1. Again, we were at home. Pustonen and Eriola with the goals. Kavamen replied really, really late on for us. But it was disappointing. It's a game that we should have won. If you have a look at the XG, we were, especially coming into the second half, we were the much better team. But we did end up with a defeat. So that does lead us into today, which is the final game of the season against Marieheim. This is the lineup that we're going to go with for today. We're going to bring... Not too sure. I think we're going to go with Coimbra in there. So the lineup today, we are playing with the Regista formation. It's going to be Arboleda in goal. He is leaving at the end of the season. Will explore his options at the end of his contract, which does run out this season. I have already signed a replacement, but obviously that's something that I'll go through next season. Aina Soya is going to come in as the right wing back. I believe another player whose contract is expiring. No, he's still here, but he is transfer listed. I've got a lot of players leaving this season. Barrios has signed a contract extension. He's remaining at the club for another season. Oksanen, again, one of the players I signed early on in my tenure here in Finland. He's been a very, very good player. He's got loads and loads of pros as well. So I'm happy with him. Mari Darlin is another one of my signings. Maybe a little bit lacking. He's got a 6.68 average rating across the season. He's inconsistent, so I'm looking to improve the left-back position. Now, Eagle has surprised me. He, initially when I came to the club, he was a right-back, but he is actually natural as a regista, and he's got some good attributes for that position. He is inconsistent, though. He's also currently operating at a first division level, so the division below us, and his contract is also expiring, and he's exploring his options at the end of his contract. So I do need to look for something in that position. Coimbra is not really a ball-winning midfielder. His tackling is only 3. He is a forward, but he can play here today. He's here next season, which is great. Hernandez, the Frenchman, in the middle of the park. He is a very good advanced playmaker. He's got some good attributes for that position. Doesn't enjoy big matches, though. But he, again, is here next season. Hagelberg, unfortunately, is here next season and the season after. All he does is moan. He's not good enough for us. He's injury prone. Unlikely to improve at 29 years old. He's taken up £650 of my wage budget. Have promised him a fair amount of game time, but I'm going to be looking to sell him in the summer. Galeta is another one who I've brought in. I think, yes, he's on loan from Rio Ave in Portugal. I've brought him in as a pressing forward. He, again, not really good enough. It was just more numbers. And Johansson continues up top with his 13 goals this season. Another player I did sign was, believe it or not, a Latvian. I've brought a Latvian in, and it was Andris Kalnins. He's coming from BFC, of course, a team who we are familiar with, but he's come in as a centre-half. Again, he's got some good attributes for that position. I believe he's signed as a breakthrough prospect, so he's not expecting too much football, and he's on £250 a week. And looking at that, he's got a fairly decent resale value, which is maybe one of the reasons why I brought him in, because if we have a quick look, we're 1.3 million in debt. But that's going to be the lineup for today, guys. We're going to get into it. We've got a few players struggling for match fitness. There's a couple of players who haven't featured for us so much this season, like the likes of Aini Soya. He's not really featured. Hagelberg, not really featured either, but like I say, he's just not up to scratch. But hopefully we can do this, get a win on the last day of the season. That would be fantastic to carry over morale-wise for next season. before I try and improve this squad, because we're currently 15 points off the top with a positive 1 goal difference. I think we have broken the record for the most goals conceded in a season in this division, which, considering we're 4th in the table, it is not really good, is it? But I do believe we're also breaking the record for the most goals scored. So, again, not too bad, but we've won half of our games, which for a first season in the nation is pretty decent. As we get our first highlight, and it is a corner to be swung in for Marieheim. It's headed well clear, though, by Hagelberg, but Palagetta gets another attempt. Gustaf Lindgren gets his 15th goal of the season for IFK Marieheim to put them 1-0 up, which is very disappointing for us because we have started this game well. You can see by the defenders' ratings in the bottom, they were both lit up green there. They've had a very good game so far of the defenders. But Marieheim are the team on top. As we approach the half-time whistle, it's been a disappointing first half as far as SJK are concerned. Not really too many highlights. Hopefully we'll get a bit more of an exciting second half. But like I say, it's a dead rubber for us. We are guaranteed 4th no matter what happens. Ula are relegated. FC Yarrow are going into the playoff as things stand. As far as the title's concerned, Coops are currently 1-0 up against Honka, but they've had 2 players sent off. Hagland and Callio have been sent off for Coops, so Honka have really got the initiative here to go and win the title. As we get a free kick, it's to be taken by Hagelberg. It's a decent one. I think it's clipped the bar. Hernandez with the follow-up effort. And as we now have just the 20 minutes remaining, we're going to look to make some changes as Boateng takes that goal kick. It's headed clear, but Mensah gets the ball again. It's Kalenga on the right-hand side, finds Mensah looking over the top towards Palagetta, but it's well cut out by Oksanen. As Kalenga picks it up again. Now Hagelberg looking long for Johansson. Well cut out though. Palagetta again. Molinen with the ball across. It's a tame effort by Kalenga there. Easy save for Arboleda. But we'll quickly make some substitutions here, get some fresh legs on the pitch. We've got some players who are not performing. We'll get Kavaman on for Galetta. Coimbra, it's not really his position, and we'll get Koisnen on. And I really don't like Hagelberg in there, so we're going to bring Stefano Penna on. It's not really his position, but he can at least give it 20 minutes, you know. Honka, I can't believe that Honka are still 1-0 down against 9 men. Coops must just have everybody stood on the goal line. But as things stand, they are going to be the champions of Finland, which would make it 4 different winners in 4 seasons here in Finland. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. We've had a very, very quiet game here against Marieheim. Unfortunately, we have been defeated by the 1-0. That takes it to 3 defeats in a row for SJK, unfortunately, which is not great. But Coops confirmed as the champions of Finland, which is a little bit of a shock because they were down near the bottom with us last season. But we have now, in the European place, a playoff quarter-final. For some reason, we're against Ilves. I don't understand that, because Ilves finished down in the relegation group. They were actually in a really good run of form. How does that work? 7th. European for teams not already qualified for European competition. So it is the top 7 who go into this this group. It's 4th down to 7th who go in this qualifying round. I think. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that we're in it. We're in the quarterfinals. Obviously, I'm gonna go all out to try and qualify for Europe because we need some cash flow through the door. Disappointing season though, guys. We've scored 44, which is the most in the league. We've conceded 44, which is the most in the league. And considering we finished in 4th, conceding the most goals in the league is not great. But those 11 losses have really cost us this season. If we can turn some more of those losses next season into draws or possibly wins, close that now 18-point gap that we've got to the champions, that would be really, really good. But guys, that is going to wrap up the season. It's also going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you, as always, for your continued support. As of today's episode recording, I mentioned it a couple of episodes about the subscriber count. We were on 97 when I said, but as of today's recording, we have made it to 101, which is fantastic. That's a huge milestone for me. For those of you watching who aren't subscribed and you are enjoying what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well, because it does help me out. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.